Any other questions for Mr. Van Ashe? Go ahead.
He stated that in the past when he said.
Hold on. That statement to me, you don't have to have do you have a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead and ask it.
Oh, and you said that this cable contacted your insurance company. How come you didn't contact your insurance company when this occurred?
On the principle of the $7,000. I could have just turned it over and I thought, you know what? No, I'm not gonna put my insurance company through that. My insurance company did all this properly. If I would have shown up and said, we're not taking the basement, somebody else would have paid $7,000 to do it properly. So in principle, I was like, and I've been talking to people through this for, since maybe a year ago. And I explained it. I said, this is ridiculous. I just as a courtesy to my insurance company, and I think maybe my rates would go up, and what they think of me would be less, that I didn't be responsible. I mean, I'm not perfect. I admit that I have some of the insurance right now, accidents, but just on principle, $7,000 I thought was just wild.
Right. But if you had turned it over to your insurance company, they would have had that discussion with us and they could have got the feedback. And they could determine what amount would have been fair to pay out.
Yeah, but you chose to go with small claims, so I get to decide that.
Right, but.
Well, the simple answer to that question was.
Nobody's under an obligation to involve their insurance company.
Right, usually, so when we have a lot of people that hit our property and our equipment, right? So when there's something that has happened, they usually send it to the insurance company where they dispute it. We worked through another vendor, but there was no response. This could have been handled a little different. And I did, you're saying that, there may have been some fault on our end or what have you. But my point is, I know he said in the past that he's hit our cables quite often. And when we did go to the mediator, I did say, hey, let's just have it to do 50%, right? Because there's no disputing he hit the cable. But again, our crews have to go out and do some type of repairs or whatever.
Right. But the cable was also not marked by mistake. That was his testimony.
Right. So I do have pictures if you want.
Okay. I don't want anything. It's your case. So if you'd like me to look at those pictures to support your position, I'm happy to see them.
Yes.
So first, whatever photos you want me to look at, we'll show them to Mr. Van Ashe. Make sure either he's got copies or he at least knows what I'm looking at.
Yeah. I can go. For him. And again, I think he's seen these. You want me to? Okay. And this is, yeah.
So I'm going to give Mr. Van Ashe a chance to go through them, and then we'll talk about them one at a time. And they've also actually got page numbers down at the bottom, so we can refer to them by page number. Who is U.S. Infrastructure Corporation? Is that just like third-party agency you hire to go out and put together diagrams and stuff?
So anytime there's a mistake, anytime there's staking involved, USIC was.
They actually put the stakes in?
Implement the class, they class.
Thank you. Have you had a chance to go through them, Mr. Van Ashe?
Yes.
Okay. So which one would you like to refer me to first, Ms. Martin? Just give me a page number. Yeah.
So page 3.
All right. That's the one I got on my top. All right. So what am I looking at? Tell me how that supports you.
So this is where the stars indicate where the damage was. So so you see the pole across the way. You see the white truck and then there's.
Yeah.
So
That's the same pole in that two pictures?
I'm sorry?
Are the poles in those two pictures side by each?
Correct.
That's the same pole, same view. One's before the digging started, one's after. Gotcha. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that pole aligns with the flags. So that's the entire, I guess, cable line, underground cable. So it aligns with that pole. So you see the markings somewhat aligned. The unique thing about this plot is that it runs on an angle. So if you look at page, I'm going to overlay. If you look at a page, doesn't have a number. So let's say it's page, sorry. It's after 15, it's the only one that doesn't have a page.
Okay, it's out of order. Is it the one that's got,
It's the open, see a map,
yeah,
yeah, that, yeah.
okay, Mr. Van Ashe, so you're looking at the same one?
I'm missing 3.
Okay,
But,
So you see that the final land runs on an angle, it's not straight as we would, I guess, expect. At any rate, so that's where the damage, that's where the crew identified that the damage had occurred.
all right, so I'm looking at your overlay, and I'm seeing the blue dotted line,
So that's our cable.
okay? And where's the damage marked on the overlay?
So on the overlay, so if we're looking at this one, Wayne, right, so that pole shows Wayne, right? So I'm thinking because the house is down there, I'm thinking that damage occurred closer to, I guess, the edge of your.
All right, so we don't have an X marks the spot of the damage on the overlay. Okay. Okay. All right, so on the overlay, where would the easement be on this overlay? The easement that's shown in the picture on page 3.
So the easement would be I would say, like, think of it as an invisible line from that pole going on like an angle. And then you have 4 feet.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out where I would map the easement on this.
Okay, yep. So the easement would be, if you're looking at it, the navy blue dash line, so it's closer to those property lines, so it's gonna be 4 feet on either side of that dash.
So it's an 8-foot easement.
Yes, I guess
Okay.
that's all, yes.
Okay.
So the damage occurred, so based on the proof, so you see it looks like a little, at the top it's a circle and then it has like something blue in the middle of it, so that's the first transformer. And then when you work your way down, there's another one that's not the clearest, but it looks like a square with a triangle. That makes any sense? That's the second transformer, so that's where the crew was saying the damage is.
Yeah, I'm not finding the second transformer. I'm seeing the one up here, I think is the little circle with the 2 little like quadrants, dark blue.
Yes,
That's transfer number 1,
Yep.
transformer.
yep.
And then is the second transformer over here?
The transformers, if you go straight down towards the bottom of that, the second transformer is.
Oh, and there's a little circle, there's a circle around it, and it's where the dark dotted line makes a almost 90-degree turn.
Here, let's switch. So, the transformer, this is the light pole, so the circles are light pole. And then, these are supposed to be transformers.
Okay.
So this is the second transformer.
Right.
So basically,
damage is in here somewhere.
correct. So remember, this is our.
So this is the,
Correct,
that's even I'm looking on picture number page 3,
yeah,
right? Okay.
because this is our underground cave. So it's roughly like that's 7 ground cave. So it's gonna be 4 either side of that,
Right.
or whatever the flag.
Right.
I think about you. Okay, what else do you want me to see on the photos? I don't know. Is there anything else in all these photographs you want me to refer to?
I think that was it, I just wanted to.
Okay. All right, so I've got I'm gonna give you a shot at her, but I got a question. So if I'm looking at the document, or the depictions on page number 3, to me, it looks like that basement. You don't have this picture, Mr. Van Ashe?
Yeah.
You mind just showing it to him? In the picture that shows excavating, am I looking at part of the foundation down there?
If you look at it, my favorite figure is number 7.
Oh, let's do that. Let me find it. Okay, I got it.
See the orange in the hole
Um,
in the corner?
I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's the damage.
Okay.
That's where we hit.
So that's within 1.5 or 2 foot from the footing, right?
That's the overdig. You have to dig it 2 foot wide for the
Backfill. Yeah.
and that's where we hit. So if you look at my page, also page 5,
Getting there. Okay.
You see, they have it this big, and it lines right up with the telephone pole.
Right,
Makes sense to me. Yeah, that's an easement, that's,
right.
no house goes there. That's a property line, that's, we know that makes sense.
But if you look at the picture on page, do you have page 4? Because it's the same picture, I think. 3 or 4, either one. Which, you got 4? So that looks like that the footing is within 4 or 5 foot from the center of the easement.
But this is their repair, this is where they dug it. We didn't dig it up there. We hit it down in the hole.
Okay.
Stop.
No, but my question for you is, would you agree with me that it looks like it's approximately 4 or 5 feet from the center of the easement? Is that an optical illusion? Because the setback can't be that little on the side lot. Well, I guess it could be.
This is so close to the footing, in this yard, I don't know exactly how it's laid out.
Right. Well, I guess we need to know where the pole over here is.
But wherever this end got cut, doesn't really matter because that's not right.
Yeah, I get you. That's repair. Okay. All right.
Back here.
All right. Okay. And Ms. Martin, do you have?
Look at 7, that even shows it even closer.
Yeah. So.
And if it stayed parallel, we would have never known.
Right.
But the fact that it's zigged into our estimation is the only reason we found out where it was.
Right. And I'm assuming you've got page number 7 as well. So in the very top corner, there's a pole. I'm assuming that's in a straight line with the poles that are shown in picture 4, picture 3.
5, the
Right?
poles are. Picture 5 is before. This is what we saw when we got there.
Right. Right. Right.
Marketing, they're proud of themselves.
They take pictures. Yeah. Yeah.
We get there, we see this. It's like, okay,
Right. Right. Okay.